Hang on, let's turn this thing off. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to. We haven't got a title yet, Andy, for this.
What's it called? It's just
Well,
I need a title. Flipping
Well,
heck.
Zolt come up with a title, but we
I
sacked
came
it
up
off.
with the name, but nobody's listened to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
First thing off, everybody who's watching, we need you to comment below what you would like to call this series of podcasts. Now, first off, we've got the legend, Andy May.
Come on, Des.
Enter
Not been called that
Andy
before,
May.
mate.
So, welcome, Andy.
Thank you very
I would
much.
like to say it's my podcast, but it's not really. It's a Preston Innovations podcast, and I'm actually been leading. I'm leading it, which is beyond me.
Leading
Come
to
on,
the
Des.
disaster.
And with Zolt on the technical side of it, what is going to go wrong?
That's leading for another
So
disaster.
I think everybody will be watching this thinking anything's going to happen in a minute. It'll be sparks. The white, I can see Zolt's room sort of, I don't know, you could have a fire going off in the background.
Yeah, I'll let him deal with the techie side, Des.
So this is all about, Andy, a little bit about your past, but mostly about the current, what's going on out there. Because I think that's what I would like to know, a little bit about your past.
Yeah.
So I've written down a few little notes. So the first thing I think, what I would ask him, what a lot of people ask,
is your Wi-Fi going?
what would happen? That's Zolt. Stop moving,
No,
Zolt.
that's not me. That's you.
Oh, was it? I'll stop moving my head.
No!
Is your Wi-Fi gone?
Actually, I think it's his Wi-Fi, not yours.
He's back. I can see you.
Is my Wi-Fi going?
Yeah.
Well, no, it went a bit like
it's good now.
You look like you're in a toilet then, behind that dodgy glass that you have in the toilet.
Just bear with me 5 seconds.
Go on.
Just bear with me.
I take it back, Zolt. I take it
Wi-Fi,
back.
please.
I take it back, Zolt. It's not you all the time messing up.
There we go. Some blooming kids are off, aren't they? They're like getting on the Wi-Fi. I've told them to go on 4G.
That's them PlayStation games, mate. It's just taking over the joint.
Flipping heck. Right, they should be on 4G now. Sorry about that.
What I would like to know is where, because I don't know your sort of past fishing history as such.
Yeah.
Where did it all start for you? Where did you get into fishing?
Yeah, so my dad started me off, Des, when I was 3 years old, fishing the real tough, hard northern reservoirs up in Oldham, like Ogden Reservoir, on the canals, Bridgewater Canal, places like that. And then we moved when I was sort of 6 to a little village called Goosetree. And then basically I grew up around this Middle Cheshire area ever since, on the River Dane, the River Weaver, sort of like natural waters as well. Used to fish Carmill Dam a lot, Pillsworth used to fish a lot. Obviously, there's no commercials back then. And it's just sort of progressed from there. Obviously, started off junior matches, as we all do, when I was 6, 7 years old. And I was my first senior match when I was 9, competing with the likes of Kevin Ashurst on the Weaver when I was like 11, 12 years old. And it's just stemmed from there. So I was like sort of fishing like above my ears when I was like really young, Des, and it just stands you in good stead for, later on in life, that kind of thing. And England trials came along, and this.
Did you match fish from an early age?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I fished my first junior match when I was 6, and then my first senior match when I was 9. So it's all I've ever wanted to do. I've never wanted to do anything else but just go fishing.
Yeah.
I've always adored it. That's all I've ever done, mate. Obviously, rod and line fishing, and then I didn't get my first pole till I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And then obviously commercials. Didn't fish my first commercial till I was probably similar age, which was Morelands. That was my first commercial. Then I went to Gold Valley, and then obviously commercials just went nuts after that.
How did you end up with like Gold Valley? Because that must have been quite a distance for you.
So that's where. So Willow Park and Gold Valley days. That's where our England trials were.
Right.
Youth. The first one I had was on. It was on Willow Park, and then it was on Gloucester Canal. Then it was at Gold Valley all the time after that.
Yeah.
So we used to go and fish a few matches on there. Obviously, I knew Will as well. He was a couple of years older than me, but knew Will. Obviously, he'd been in the England youth team, and obviously.
So who was in the youth team when you? Because I don't know that. Who was actually in the youth team? Like when you were fishing that?
So it was Ian Boothby, Paul Boothby's brother.
Right. Yeah.
Chris Jenkinson, Derby Trent man. Michael Saunders, Steve Sanders' lad.
Yeah.
Matt Bramley, who he fishes Yorkshire ways, like real good mates with Andy Kinder. John Jarram, who's at Leicester Census, I think.
Yeah.
Richard Taylor, who owns
Essex County.
Yeah, and Mark Pitchers, the Capital.
No way.
Yeah.
Mark. Are you taking the mick?
No. I've got some pictures of Mark with
no way.
Blonde hair. Looks like a Baywatch extra.
What, Mark Pitchers as the carp angler?
Yeah.
You need to find that picture, Andy.
I'll tell you what, I did not know that. I didn't even know he could fish anything like that.
Oh, mate, he's really good. He's really
way.
good. He still is good now. Obviously, he just turns his attention to the Specie side.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, no, that's where it all stemmed from back then.
I'm glad I asked you that, because I didn't have a clue about that Mark being involved in the England sort of youth setup.
Oh yeah, proper. And obviously, since we've always kept in touch and what have you. And,
yeah.
You know, that's why we are where we are now. So,
unbelievable.
Different paths. Yeah, no, it's
that's unreal.
Really
so
good.
I didn't know that. I've not just asked. You know, that is, that's really interesting. That.
Yeah, it's proper.
And then obviously you went into like.
Yeah, so junior nationals were massive back then, Des. Obviously, you know how big the national events were, especially the junior national. There's only one tier, if you like. There wasn't like cadets and intermediates. So it was literally just one junior national where you get on a coach and go here, there, and everywhere. When I was 15, fishing for Stakely White up by us, like around Nantwich way, I come second in the junior national on the Staffordshire Canal.
Some chub. Just some chub.
No, I started off catching gudgeon on remember Census Piccadilly, Des?
Yeah.
Catching loads of gudgeon, and then I just started catching some big roach. I'm like, all right, there's some of them there. So I started putting some casters in and just caught these massive roach. I weighed just short of 5 kilo. I think
lovely.
5 kilo one. It was flipping amazing.
Did you? What gudgeon float did you use? Did you use one of those Drennan? Remember the Drennan? Remember the Drennan floats? It was the big antenna on them. They were sort of a bloodwormy sort of float, weren't they? If you remember them.
Sure it would have been a Census one. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I don't know what it had been.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Obviously, progresses from there, and you know, England youth. It was really good when I got in the England youth team and came second in Portugal individual. And we had a team third, team bronze, so that was brilliant. And then the year after, when it was in Croatia, that was the first time I'd ever seen a flat float there. We'd never seen flat floats before. And I think it was the Polish who like...
It's daunting, isn't it?
Oh, mate, never seen anything like that. We were fishing like 20-gram bodied floats. So imagine a big bodied float like that in the river. It's just like that. Whereas the Polish who destroyed the event, they had these 40, 50-gram flat floats on. Just like
that was just normal for them, wasn't it? That's the difference.
It's incredible seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. And obviously the Kamasan came around after that and bored everyone to death about that. Maximum of the year and everything. But yeah, it's just how it happens.
Yeah. So, thanks for that. That's nice. It's interesting because I didn't know your past. I know the past of some of the other anglers, but I didn't actually know your sort of starting out and all that sort of stuff. It's really interesting.
Probably because it was so long time ago, Desmond.
Shut up, you.
You want a jacket? I'll tell you what. You're only just round the corner from Zolt, mate. So watch out. Yeah. Well, let's get on to some current Silverfish final on the weekend. We're going from your past, which is way back, to last weekend.
Like, straight up to date, aren't we?
Give us a rundown because we actually drew next door to each other, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So
it's Springvale Fishery, which is an amazing venue, and it is superb, beautiful venue.
I've honestly never been anywhere like it for the silver. All the fishing that's on offer, right from obviously the staff, Sue and the team, Neil, the bailiff, and all the rest of the fishing managers there. Right the way to like how you get looked after, and when you drive in, you get your.
It's like a Mackie D drive-through, isn't it?
Flipping. And you park. You don't need a trolley. Don't need your trolley. You don't need your nets. Park right behind your peg. It's like wow. You get like half a leg to yourself as well. The pegs are that flipping big. It's just I've never been anywhere like it. It was amazing. But the lead up to it, I never thought I'd get through. I qualified really late. I remember you taking the mick out of me actually. When we did
we had
you were lead or did
we had a little bit of dig, didn't we? Everybody has a bit of dig.
And I left it really late, and obviously we do it for winning ways. We do like an in session, a live match kind of thing. And I thought it was never going to happen, and luckily it happened. And getting through to somewhere like that was amazing.
Everyone was surprised.
Shut up, you. Who invited you on, Des?
Strike two.
I reckon we could do the tech side of it.
Strike two. You know what comes next? Strike three.
I'll be in that car in a bit.
Pull the cable out.
Flying headbutts, all directed. So we had, and yeah, you weren't. I don't know where you were. You might have been at Acorn or something. We had a 2-day festival last.
I qualified at. Yeah, I did qualify at Acorn.
So where were you for that 2-day festival that we had last week or the week before?
I actually had a decision to make. I had a silverfish final at Acorn, which I qualified for earlier. Similar sort of thing, but obviously not as much cash.
Yeah.
And I thought, I do a lot of travelling anyway, like yourself. And I thought, I'll tell you what, it's on my doorstep. You know, it's a lake that I love fishing. The silverfish fishing's great. And I thought, I'm going to miss that. I'll go up and have a. Luckily, both of our positions really, we can put a little bit of time in, can't we, if we really want to?
Yeah.
So I fished that. I had a mega day. I won that, so that was a bit of a bonus.
Get in, Des.
So we had a Sonia day up at Springvale. It was a long drive there and back. Went up there with the rest of the crew, like some of the Preston and Matrix guys were there. And that was the second time I went. I fished the Fishermania there, but obviously that was carp and silvers. Yeah. So I went up there and seen the true sort of what this place is all about. I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah,
the amount of silverfish eyed and skimmers was truly amazing, really.
Yeah. So the final was obviously on Golden 1 and Golden 2, and we had this 2-day event on the Thursday and the Friday.
Did you fish that?
Yes. Yeah. So on the Thursday, I drew the peg to your left, 31.
Oh, nice. So you've had a right.
Coming in, but you know how nice the weather was.
Yeah.
It was lovely, wasn't it? Wind was coming in. There was carp like so my first 2 drops along on the bottom, I had 2 carp. Then I looked to the left, and every single person was netting an eye, fishing like shallow straight away. I'm like, oh, right, okay. So I've gone out on the shallow rig, just like a nice, normal through the water rig.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. 90 minutes, Des, out of the fish every going for 90 minutes. And then it calmed down a little bit, so I went on the bottom, caught a few tench, little crucians, and then caught some carp. Come short, caught a skimmer or 2, and then you couldn't class them anywhere. You catch like 1 or 2 fish, and you'd have to go somewhere else. So I had 3 swims on the go in the end, and I was second in my section. I had 67 pounds. There was a lad on peg 24, 25. He had 4 chub there for like 14 or 15 pounds.
Did he?
Flipping amazing. I'm like, wow, like probably,
great
like
big
river chub. Like,
yeah.
Wow. So we had 4 of them. He won our section. Jeremy won the lake on the peg I drew on 33.
Yeah.
He won the lake on that peg with 72 pounds, and he just beat Callum, who was on the M peg on that bank, by a few ounces.
So really, and corner pegs, we would have actually been all right, I think, if the weather would have been.
Our pegs were amazing. There's so many fish. We knew there was fish there, didn't we? That was the frustrating thing. There was a lot of fish there, but obviously we just couldn't do anything. So I'll get to that in a bit. So on the Friday, I wanted to be on Golden 1 just to see what it's like. Not because obviously Jimmy
was that 2 open draws then.
2 open draws, yeah. It went on weight. Did it go on weight?
Yeah, I think it was.
Section points.
No, section points.
Section points. Went on section points. So I drew on the causeway bank, between the 2, peg 18, right in the middle. Cal was on the M peg, and our bank was horrendous. I won our bank.
M-peg. Power's on an M-peg.
He's always on an M-peg. No, Callum.
Oh, sorry, Callum. 2 M-pegs in 2 days.
Yes. Yeah, come on. He don't mess about, that boy. But our bank was horrendous. We watched him opposite. Jimmy drew the same peg, Jimmy Brooks.
Yeah.
He won the match again with 70 pounds. Lee Riley had 60 pounds. Dale Shepherd had 50 pounds. And I was 4th on that lake with 39 pounds. But I caught everything in 90 minutes and not really had a bite after that.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, we need to be on here. So speaking to Jamie and all that, we need to be on Golden 1 on that back bank because we thought the wind would be off your back there. But when we got there, it was like blowing up the lake, wasn't it? It was right weird. So obviously, fast forward to last Sunday, peg 33, flipping it, Des.
Bosh.
If it wouldn't have been that, I'd have been so happy there because I knew there was a lot of fish there. My only issue, I drew that peg in a qualifier to get through to this final back in December. That exact same peg with the exact same wind, and I never had a bite on the pole. I've got everything on on the back of the wind, everything, but there was so many carp there even then. That's why I didn't set it up. If you notice that, me and Jay set the tip rod up at the same time halfway through. We didn't think of setting it up because we knew how many carp were on it.
Yeah, it was so it was such a gutter, wasn't it? It was such a gutter for a final.
Yeah, devastating.
Gutted. And just let people know that I went out there for a couple of days just to have a little practice. Not on there. I practiced on one of the lakes it was in, but I just fished like the over 50s. Now it's quite nice actually. You can get in on the over 50s and stuff.
Des, 3 years, mate. I'm joining you.
Well, there you go.
I'm there, mate.
It's brilliant. I love it. We had a real good laugh.
I thought that you are there already.
No, it was
right.
literally
Is that 3 strikes?
3 strikes.
Get out, Zolt.
Get our cable off. And I went up with Zoe. We had a real nice time. I fished 2 matches, and on the Saturday I fished a match, and it was windy, but it wasn't as windy as that. And we had a look round goal 2, and I'm like, do not draw on that bank there. And you were on 31. I was on. No, you were on 33, weren't you?
33, on 32.
But you literally had. You couldn't really fish, could you? Really?
No.
To be honest,
any other conditions would have been absolutely bang on there. I mean, the favoured pegs are always in the 20s.
Yeah.
Obviously to your left, and that's how it turned out. But if the conditions had been bang on, would have been well in with it there.
I was devastated. I was so angry.
Yeah.
Literally, service light come on the way home again. I remember just the oil change every week, and it come back on.
But guys, tell to the public who else was in your section.
No, we had a real easy section. We had myself, which I'm crap, obviously. Andy, Jamie, Powers, Callum,
Matt.
No, I don't think Matt was in our section.
Matt not in our section?
No, there were 6, I think, wasn't there?
So it was 5. It was 5.
Me, I can't remember. There was 5, basically 5 of us, and then who else was there?
Was Lee Wright in our
I don't know. No, he was in the section to my left. He was.
But he had Jamie, Colin, Power.
Lee. But it was such a disappointment for me. I was really gutted. Real felt like
the 6th person was Kev Cresswell.
Oh, Kev Cresswell, yeah. Kev fishes there. He did really well all the time. In the 2-day, actually, he fishes there all the time. Did really well.
But I would say to anyone out there, I mean, I think, don't you agree, Owen? Silverfish fishing it this year or previous couple of years have gone it's just taken off.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I think it's so popular. Obviously, I think people get a bit fed up with F1s in carp on some
winter time, especially.
Yeah, definitely, because you don't know if you're going to catch or not, do you? So you turn to silvers. You know you're going to get a day's fishing. We hope you get a day's fishing. You can fish nice. You don't need a load of bait. A few maggots, pinkies, a bit of ground bait, maybe some pellets if you're on skimmers, and that's it. It's just nice fishing, isn't it? Yeah, it's just taken off so well. It's brilliant. It's
brilliant, really. I think it's really, really good for the future of fishing. I think it needs that as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because they show up too much, don't they, carp and F1s. You just can't rely on them.
And well done. We've got to say thanks to Dale, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And you, I think, you got
winning ways. Well, obviously, winning ways and everything. Jamie more so than myself, but Rick's obviously filmed it as well. It's hopefully it's just going to go from strength to strength. We've already booked it there again next year.
Have you?
Fingers crossed for better weather.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in it. I mean, obviously, if you look at the weights, it was close, wasn't it, in the end? 39, 38, 37. Yeah. But it's the payout as well. How good was that payout there?
Brilliant. That was Dale. I actually did speak to Dale before that competition started, and I said, look, try and follow the feeder masters.
Feeder masters, yeah.
Because that's what people want, even though we didn't do any good.
We're the only ones who didn't get any money, I think.
They could have paid the top 15 we might have scraped in.
No, I don't think we would.
No, actually. I think I was 12th with £19.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I'd have been a few places
I sort of folded the sheet back over. I thought, that'd do for that.
Yeah, no. Make a big airplane out of it. Dink.
But anyone out there who's looking for, I think, winter,
and how we've done it as well, obviously, the qualifiers, is it's all over the country. Whiteacres, you know what I mean? There's Wales, up north, Midlands, down, you know what I mean? So we've done qualifiers everywhere. So no one's got no excuse to not go and have a go with them. And the final, if you can get through, it's flipping amazing. So good.
Right. Well, next question I got, talking about qualifiers, is Fishermania.
Yeah.
How many? Because I'd like to know how many of you, because you're a busy person, you do coaching,
right?
You've got winning ways, you've got capital. How many fish shows do you actually sort of sit down and think, right, I'm going to put this in my diary?
Right, I'll tell you exactly what happened then, Des Shipp. So, bearing in mind, Jamie wants to try and get as many as he can. So he'll have 3 laptops on the go when we stay off at home. Me and Rich decided to go and do a Winning Ways Basics at Birch House. So he said, don't worry, we'll stop at dinner time. Bring your laptop and you can hook up to my... what do you call it when you have it on your I use Rich's thing on his
like a booster.
Hotspot. I've never even flipping heard.
I got one
you
of them.
know what hotspot was? And Michael Barrymore days. Remember that? I'm like, how do you know what Michael Barrymore thing with the hotspots? That's all I remember. I didn't know what hotspot was. So I'm like, right, we'll stop fishing. Have you got your list? I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to put my list in. I didn't know what list I was. So obviously I know what venues are close to me. I'd already got the Old Up, which is like 10 minutes down the road from me. So I'd already got that. And I went for as many as I could. So it's gone 12 o'clock. Rich is like put his hotspot on, and I'm there like that, trying to put all my places in. And I put one in, and I'm gone to like sign out and pay for it. But I didn't realise you could have like you could have like 3 or 4, couldn't you? Or 5.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that. So I've ended up with like 8.
Oh, so you've done all right.
All over the place. I never got partridge because I forgot. They went first. Never got Springvale because that's the most popular. Never got Herringbrook, which is just down the road as well. So all the ones like close to me, I didn't get. But to be fair, going back on, if you go back on, there's like tickets pretty much on there all the time.
Yeah, there is. There's a few tickets floating about already, isn't there?
Yeah, but not the ones that I want, unfortunately.
It bugs me because I really want to. It's that one, isn't it? Fish Show is for me.
Fish Show's the one, Des.
It's the one, isn't it? It's the one from the start.
Have you got?
No, I've been close. I've had a couple of like. I can honestly say because I used to fish the fish shows when they were on the Kennedy Canal.
Yeah.
I mean, most 99.9% of that you never had a hope in hell. You had to draw 1 out of 200 pegs, basically.
Yeah.
I reckon I had a slight chance at Baldings.
Oh.
Yeah,
right, okay.
I drew on the stock pond, and I had £154.
Last year or the year before?
No, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And everybody's like, "You've won it!" And I'm like, "Yes." And I was like, "Hang on a minute, there's one more lake to weigh in," and I think it was the lake that sort of normally wins it. And there was 2 weights on there.
Right.
I think Powers comes second. Some other guy called Shallow. Like I can't remember what weight, like 148, and I had like and I just ran out of bites.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted. Yeah, nice to frame, and I also had a nice match there last year. To be honest, I think I come third. I was 4th or 5th. But
have you got it? Have you got it next Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday. Yeah, we're off again next Wednesday. So
how many have you gone for? So I've got 9, I think in total.
I think I got 8.
Perfect.
I can't remember where they are. Remember where they are.
You get a reminder, don't you, a week before, which is what we need, Des.
Yeah. Zolt phones up, says, "Right, can we go out?" And I'm like, "Hang on, let me check." Oh no, I got a Fisher qualifier that day, mate. Sorry.
And this happens every week.
Yes.
So so it's a good comp, isn't it? I'd just love to get it in myself.
I'd love. I've never fished Westwood. I'd love to get through to Westwood.
Yeah,
really would. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely. It's always my goal every year to try and qualify for that. But it's so flipping hard now.
I can't believe that. Like Jamie, Andy, it's every year, isn't it?
Every year. So he's done it 13. I think 13 or 14 years on the trot, Jamie. 15 years in total. It's like
it's mad.
But yeah, it's one of the, I'd love to get through, but the standard of the flipping anglers in his qualifiers, is it like that style of fishing, that fast F1 fishing, like changing in, like just being on it.
I went to Tunnel yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went to Tunnel, drew 19 on you. I estimate I have between 130 more of F1s. Right, I weighed in 99 pounds.
Flipping it, mate.
Yeah.
I bet you're knackered. I bet you're still recovering now.
Yeah, I was like, I've been out with him today, and my arms are hanging off. I've got to fish the top 5.
It's definitely that style of it. It's definitely a younger.
Mega days fishing, absolutely fantastic days fishing. But again, you just need to have those better stamp to get the weight, don't you?
Guys, do you think an average angler can go through Fish Show final like an F1 venue?
I think so. I think that's the thing about Fish Show. When I look around the anglers yesterday, there's something about Fish Show from the other big matches. I think that's what's so good about the Capital Catch one, is you've got guys there that, I don't know, there's something about they just love that Fish Show televised thing, don't they? You know, they just love it. They just, you know, where the other comps, I think, there's a core of anglers that follow it, and you don't see that. I don't think you see so many sort of what I would call sort of club anglers, but Fish Show, they're like, come on,
they're all
They love it. I think they can, Zol. I think if you get on the right peg on the day, the wind's blowing at you.
It's still the FA Cup of fishing.
Yeah,
100% it is.
It happens, doesn't it? It happens a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think I would have a chance?
No.
We'll
take a strike. I'll tell you what. We'll take a strike back from that. You're on 2 again now.
You wouldn't be quick enough on your ledger bomb rod with MF1.
No, you wouldn't. No, you'd have to swing them to hand. We'd be banned straight away.
You know what I mean?
So tell us a little bit about winning ways, and how all that started, because that's been like for you, Jamie and Rich, it's been really successful, hasn't it? How did
How
did that all come around? Because that's a current thing that is, I presume, is still growing for you.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So obviously, I've been with MAP for a long time. Matt. Jamie started with us in like 2015. But I've known Jamie for like years and years. We've known each other 25, 30 years, something like that. And then Rich came on board in 2016, started doing all our film and everything, because Rich was a carper to start with. Never really done match fishing, but obviously coming out with myself and Jamie filming us all the time, he got pretty good. And then it was when, do you remember Bagger and Paul Holland had just done their commercial masters? They started that, but they were, flipping amazing, but more for the open match angler, serious, like really in depth, and I'm not like that. Jamie is, but I've changed him now. So we wanted to create something like, with challenges, doing something a little bit different, catering for like everyone. If you've never fished before, or if you were like a decent angler, Jamie does them. I do the ones who never fished before. And 2017 we started it all off. Then we started the challenges.
2017
we started it off.
So that's what, 11 years. Sorry, 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah, go on, maths. And then obviously, it just got more popular. We've got 3 channels on there now. And then lockdown happened in 2020. And then I tell you what, Des, since then it's just gone. Obviously we're doing, live Q&As every month. We'd go do instructionals in our garden and everything involving our pets. I've done some with my dog, like feeding for the catapult. Watch him run up to the garden. And it's just like that, things like that take off. Then we started the challenges, and it's just gone. It's just getting better and better. We've got a basics channel now. We've got an extra channel. We've got a members only channel, and obviously we've got the main channel. So it's phenomenal.
Look, I'm going to ask Zol. Zol, are you actually? Do you subscribe to it, Zol?
No, I'm not.
Oh, Zol.
Do you think you can give him a discount, and it saved me a lot of work. This. Seriously, I might even pay for a subscription and give it to him.
Yeah, make sure you watch Jamie's one.
But he would be on. What would he become under? The starter.
Basics.
Yeah, basics.
Sorry, Zol.
It's nice to see.
One more strike back.
Yeah. Well, Zol, you've been out with us, haven't you? We've done some filming. Like we love having you. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. It's just good to get that, perspective from another angler who's been there, literally done everything, can't do anything more. And you know what I mean? It's great to have that insight from you. Brilliant. But
when I spoke to you, when I got to know you, obviously better, because I didn't really know you until I met you at like different things and Preston, when you got your Preston sponsorship. But I couldn't believe how much coaching you used to do.
Oh yeah, every day.
I was like, my God.
So,
because I don't think most, obviously, people that've been coaching with you would know, but the general person out there, when I spoke to you, I was like, how do you do that 5 days a week? I
mean, I love my fishing days. So when I first started, obviously, because I worked in the bank for 10 years, so when I was 16, straight out of school, I was in the bank, mate, like this on the computer.
Well, hang on. Let's stop the. What were you doing in the bank?
Since that bank is bankrupt.
Yeah.
Tell us what you were doing.
So I didn't get any qualifications. I hated school. Wasn't for all I wanted to do was fish. So you go and see a careers advisor, and she advised me you never make anything of your life with fishing. So I got a job temping at Barclays Bank right near me. 6 weeks in, they offered me a full-time job, no qualifications, but I worked hard, and that funded me fishing and this, that, and the other. So I was there 10 years, and the last 2 years it was a call centre there. So you imagine me on a phone flipping it. I'd always used to say my name was someone else.
Hello, Andy speaking. How can I help you?
My name was like Gary or Tom or Roger or something like that. But then my supervisor would listen in and like, Andrew, have you taken that call? Did you say your name was someone else? Yeah. So I didn't have a clue what I was doing. You know what I mean? So I got a few like written warnings and this, that, and the other. And then I took a career break in 2005 to leave that next year. So I left in 2006 when I was 26. Set me coaching up and never been back. I've been in 21 years now, full time.
Did you used to count the money really quick? You know when the clerk goes like that, then he goes like with his finger. You get that little sticky.
I wasn't allowed anywhere near money.
Oh, you weren't. So talk us a bit more about this coaching, mate, because to do that 5 days a week, every week, which I presume you did.
Yeah,
takes some doing that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, mate, absolutely. So the first year in 2006, I probably only had like 11 coachings that year. But I was doing all matches, so that was all right. And then 2007, you know, a bit of word of mouth. I got my own website and this, that, and the other. I don't think Facebook was around then. No, it wasn't. Definitely wasn't around then.
No.
And then it's word of mouth, and it just went. And I used to do Monday to Friday. Now, back in the day, I'd meet them at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I wouldn't finish till like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
So that was Cudmore, really?
That was pretty much everything was at Cudmore. No, I'd travel anywhere then, Des.
Right.
For 3-4 years, I'd travel all over the country. I've been down. I've been down to South Commons Cottage. I've been.
Yeah.
I've been up to like Stainforth and Cubic Canals. I've been Staunton Harold. I've been like all over.
Everywhere.
Coaching everywhere. People's own lakes and this, that, and the other.
Did it actually ruin you, like the travelling? I know.
Oh, mate, like ridiculous. I went through a Mondeo. I went through a Fiat Doblo, and what else did I go through? Got me Vivaro as well. All in that. I just went through like cars and vans and like going out of fashion. But when I changed it to like either Cudmore or Partridge, so what's that, 15 years ago, I loved it. It's fucking brilliant. I do Monday to Friday every week. I used to go all the way through as well, you know, all through like October, November, December, January, just all through. But now, obviously, I finish in October now, and I won't start again until March. I only do like one a week now. Just
you do one a week now.
Yeah,
really,
a week. Obviously, prices have gone up a little bit more, but it's just how busy everything else is, because Winning Ways is 2 days a week. Obviously, Preston, Sonu, and Capital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll take my hat off to you, because I've done some coaching, and I've probably done it a little bit too long, as in hours.
Yeah.
I'm mentally drained.
Yeah.
I'm not taking like it is like it's because I don't know whether you're the same as me. I like when you take a guy or a woman coaching, you want them to come off the bank and you think they're ready for the next sort of match, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I sort of made it like, I probably made it a little bit too like my mission, if you like, to get them to like, I used to keep them around here, like, you know, and that's wrong, boss.
I'd imagine you'd been a bit more strict than me, Des.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I went wrong. I think for the bank.
No, I absolutely loved it. I generally love like meeting new people and finding out about them and the background and what they do for a living and stuff like that. And it's just like all walks of life. It's not what you know, it's like who you know, and you make different contacts of them, and then they'll tell the club, and then you get bookings off them, and it's just like it spirals like that, and that's how it works. So it's brilliant.
Take some doing that, mate. I'll take me out off to that.
I loved it.
It's immense.
So good.
How many times over that time you've been coaching? If there's one person, how many times do you think you've taken the same person out? What's the record?
I've had one block 21 times.
Jesus.
From like 2007 to like 2009, we literally did everything.
Was his name Zolt?
No, it wasn't Zolt. Definitely, I couldn't cope with Zolt 21 times. Sorry, Zolt.
I couldn't take Zolt 21 times.
It was everything. So,
to be fair, Des, I have a plan for him.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to that blooming Southfield.
Oh, no.
I'm not going. But yeah, obviously, because obviously fishing's so diverse, isn't it? So there's like feeder fishing at distance, feeder fishing shore. You know, there's like obviously method feeder, pellet feeder, and he's literally wanted a full day on everything. He'd never ever fished a river, so we did stick float fishing for like, never caught a grayling for grayling, never caught a chub, did it for chub. Went barbel fishing, feeder fishing on a big river. Then we did canals, never fished on the canal before. It's like
just done everything.
It was brilliant, mate. Yeah.
What's your what's your? I know a bit about coaching. I find it quite interesting. What's your weirdest one?
I do get quite a few, like, you know, especially carp fishing and that. I have done a couple of them, but obviously I'm no expert whatsoever. I can, like, chuck it out with, like, a bag on and put the bleeper on and all that. And then go and crack open a tin of Stella. You know what I mean? I can do all that. Weirdest one, probably catfish and pike on the same day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, like, Cudmore. They've got lakes like
yeah.
And it was the Wigan Warriors head coach, Sean Wayne. He wanted to do just wanted to do like that style of specimen fishing, just have a little backpack with his lure rods. That's all he wanted to do. Not interested in whatever.
No.
Just catch catfish and a pike. So.
I took one. I'll tell you. I took a guy out once. He phoned me. He's a lovely bloke, and he said, "I want you to come out, Des, coaching." I said, "Right, what do you want me to do?" He said, "I've got some lakes in my back garden, right?" And he said, "I just want to know what's in them."
Oh, right, okay.
So I'd done a day's coaching on his lakes, and he just wanted to know what was in his lakes.
What was in them?
Bleak.
Bleak?
Yeah, there was some bleak. We caught a tench. We caught some bream. I'm not sure if we caught any carp. And he said he was happy. He was there. His missus was bringing the drinks out, the food. It was like, I felt quite embarrassed to actually sort of take his money.
Yeah. Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
all he wanted to do was find out what was in his lakes in his garden. Proper, unbelievable.
Wow.
Next sort of question, because we've been going for quite some time.
Actually, I have a question as well.
Oh, hello, here we go. Watch out, this could be a strike free.
Oh, flipping heck, go on, Zolt.
No, on the serious note, Andy, what do you think? People getting coaching with you because they want to gain the knowledge, or just because of your personality that they want to meet with you?
So that's changed in the last, I'm going to say, sort of 6-7 years. It's not more such the coaching now. It's the fact, obviously, you know, we're seeing on YouTube, we're seeing on Facebook, it's that kind of thing that they generally want to meet you and, you know, just have a day's fishing with you, which is lovely. I absolutely adore that. That's brilliant. But I also want to, like, coach people to, like, get them to the next level, that kind of thing. So it has changed in the last few years in that respect. It always used to be, you know, coaching them like they might be doing well in the clubs, but there might be one or two anglers beating them on a certain method. Yeah. So we really focus on that kind of thing. That was like what most of the coaching was. It was always club anglers, usually. Complete beginners, few of them, but usually club anglers wanted to get that next level and see what, like, the open match style was. I used to do quite a lot of, I coach them, and then I say, right, if you fancy a match, I'll go and get set up. You've done what you've done, right? Let's have like 2-hour match at the end. But I used to enjoy doing that, but then, you know, more so it's better. I just find it better sitting with them, you know, next to them and just guiding them as you go from, like, setting up correctly, everything's to hand, to, like, the feeding, the rigs and everything like that. So you're, like, there with them all the time.
Have you ever had some, like, funny things where they, like, because when I used to do a bit of coaching, I used to say to the people, like, right, show me how you plumb up, right? I could tell you some funny ones. I'll tell you, I don't do that many. I remember a guy once. You know, because I say, right, show me how you plumb up. Because I was like, then it gives you, I think as a coach, it gives you a starting point of, like, what it's going to be like. And I remember a guy once. He's put a plummet on, because there's lots of things about plumbing on silt in there with putting like a little SSG shot on and stuff like that. Yeah. So he's put this tiny little plummet. I've never actually seen one that small. I reckon it weighed 5 grams.
What was it, number 8?
It was, honestly, it was tiny. And he's got like a 14 elastic in. So he's put it out like that, and he's like, dunk. And I thought, I couldn't really see what was going on. So I said, look, bring that back, put this plumb. I said, how do you normally plumb up? He said, well, that's how I normally start. I reckon he was 6 foot over 10.
Flipping it. Everywhere's like 12.
It was, yeah, I know.
I'll
tell you what, but I sort of put a big plummet on, like a 20-gram plummet. He's gone out there, and he's gone like dunk, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, I can't believe that. You know, this is before, like, YouTube and that got going. But But by the end of the day, he was sacking up, like, striking all these bites. Like,
oh, brilliant!
It was great, isn't it? That's what I love about it.
It's brilliant when it's something that we take as so simple. Whereas if they're not used to it, never done that aspect of it, it's like light bulb moments, like, God, you know what I mean? That kind of little tiny things in it in fishing. It always has been. It's never been drastic. Just little tiny things always make a difference.
Yeah.
Brilliant it is.
Right. Next question.
FYI, it wasn't me.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Strike 3.
Go on, Zolt.
No, it wasn't me who was plumbing up like that.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not? Surprised me there.
You, when I first took you out, you were about 18 inches over depth.
Is that all?
About 3 foot. Yeah.
Just plumbing up with a method, wasn't you, or a banjo?
Right, next question before we finish. Plans for the future. The plans for like the next year, 2, 3 years for you.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself like going? Because you, like what I see with you, obviously you're involved with capital, winning ways. Obviously that must be eating into your fishing more and more and more. You know, I think I just like, you know, not just me, but everybody out there would like to go, you know, where do you think you're going to be at in sort of 3 or 4 years' time?
I'd love to do more sort of weekday matches, Des, getting back to that. I mean, I am happy with how it is at the minute, you know, coaching 1, sometimes 2 days a week. But then obviously winning ways, I flipping love that. But hopefully that'll just carry on going from strength to strength.
Yeah.
The capital side of it, absolutely adore that as well. So at the minute, I can't see where something's going to give that I can go in the weekday matches. Obviously, that's where weekends come in.
I love it. I love weekday matches.
They're amazing. But at the minute, obviously, my kids are getting to an age now where they're like, they don't want dad anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will obviously start doing more weekend matches. That's going back to it, that kind of thing. So that's where I see it in like the next few years.
Yeah.
Because at the minute I only do like big qualifiers, and you've got to be going in some other matches just to keep your eye in, that kind of thing. You certainly can't do it through coaching, and you know.
Are you actually doing the Premier League?
No, I got asked, but the dates, I just can't do the dates. I've already got commitments with coaching, and I'd have to refund them a bit of money. So I unfortunately couldn't do it. But I would have loved to have done that. Would have loved to. But you know, it's one of them things. Are you doing this?
No, same thing, mate. I've been asked, like so many people say, "Oh, why aren't you in it?" And I'm like, you know, obviously you're the same. We're both consultants for a big fishing manufacturer.
Yeah.
To fit that around on a Tuesday as well, and to try and compete, you know, I think both of us, we're not bothered about competing against whoever else is in it, but on venues that you don't, well, me personally, what I don't fish, and they're 4-hour drive, I would literally have to go on a Sunday night straight Monday morning latest, travel there, try and have a practice of some sort to put you in good stead, really, to have a go.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's keeping your eye in, isn't it? Definitely.
And try and travel back home on Tuesday night for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Then I might have to go out with Preston on a Wednesday, possibly, and I probably would. I probably would have to go out.
Yeah.
You know, and I just physically couldn't do it. Like it's just impossible. I gutted.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. So
I'd love to have done it.
Thing, really.
It might change, mightn't it? You know what I mean? The more people get in, who knows what'll happen? But you know, it's right.
Last thing, I've given Zolt a little video of something that happened to me. He's going to put it up on this podcast. No,
go on.
No, it's nothing like that. No,
cheeky.
It didn't happen in the bedroom. It didn't happen. No, it was something that happened.
I'm not going to post any kind of video.
And I'd like to let everybody know when they see this thing that Zolt puts up. This is actually happened to me twice. So, what's sort of the thing? Danger. Let's have a bit of danger. What's happened to you in fishing when you think, flipping heck, that was close?
Or the weirdest
one. Or have you seen something?
I mean, obviously,
when people see this video that I sent Zolt, they'll be like, that's incredible what's happened there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the normal ones, like obviously falling in, that kind of thing.
No, that's not dangerous. That's standard.
It can be, Des, when you're on a flipping river like that.
True. Yeah, river,
you know what I mean?
Dangerous.
So yeah, I remember actually on the River Weaver once on the. You don't know the Weaver, do you, Des?
I have fished it years ago in a national.
Have you? Yeah. So they've got like a length called the national length, which is like it's 12 foot deep there with tins. I'd probably similar to like the Augusta Canal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're
straight down
7 foot off the top of the water, and it's 12 foot like there. And this bloke who used to run the matches, Dougie, like fell in the winter time. And he was a big bloke, 20 stone, and we all tried to help him out, and he actually broke his fingers trying to get himself out, getting him out. But we got him out. It's all right, like. So that was a bad one.
You didn't break his fingers of stopping fishing, did you? Like on the
I think he carried on fishing. He had like 3 broken fingers, carried on fishing.
Did he?
Nails. Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. Power lines. I've seen someone cast over a power line at Cudmore, but you know,
Did you?
yeah, nothing happened. Obviously, he's like straight over it. I think he was trying to do it, being an idiot. But you know, that kind of thing, that always puts like, oh, there's a power line. You know what I mean? But yeah,
no, you've been very lucky.
Yeah.
Well, when you see this has happened to me twice, and the one I'll tell you a story. What happened when this happened on the first time?
Yeah,
I pulled the float out and I carried on fishing. I was fishing for silvers, and it was that far from the end of the pole. So I had the internal bush on a match kit. You know how fine they are.
Yeah.
And that far up it was, and I actually carried on fishing. And when I put my tip in the water and lifted it out, there was three. You know when you blow the water through your teeth when you was a kid, go like, and you had like 3 jets. Yeah, you had like 3 jets coming out for it. Went for the gap of your teeth. It was like that, and I carried on fishing, and it never broke.
Bloody hell,
yeah, I chucked it away after the match, like, but yeah, I actually carried on fishing with it, and it was a chanty, and I pulled it out, and the float just had a little bit of paint ripped off, and the hole. Well, Jolt put it up, obviously. Yeah.
Wow.
So if there's any people out there, I don't know, can they actually send little videos, Zolt, on their comments?
No, not on
Strike
the comments.
Strike free. Keep on.
But they
can
there, comment the story.
Yeah, put their little stories on of some. If you've got some pictures as well, if you can put pictures on YouTube, I'm not sure whether you can or not, but I'd love to see those sort of things, because that for me, because I had a mobile. Obviously, I think the first time it happened, I never had a mobile.
Right. So okay. Yeah.
But that time, I was like, my God, how can that go through a piece of carbon like that? Yeah, incredible. Yeah.
Does. Wow.
Yeah, so I think what are we going, Zolt? An hour?
Nearly an hour, yes.
An hour. So I think that's a nice little podcast to get this going.
Yeah.
Andy May, thank you very much.
Hey, welcome. Loved it.
Like I said at the start. No, thank you. And we'll have you back on, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, I'll put you down, I think, for a couple more.
Yeah, 100%. So, like I said, get the comments below. One, what you think this should be called. No rude ones, no nasty ones.
Yeah, no, by the way, my idea was the next peg.
The next peg.
The next peg. It's pants, isn't it? Hey? There's a lot of better ones out there. So you watch what comes in after watching this podcast. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks, Andy.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks, Zolt. He was very close to getting strike free, but we didn't get there. We will be having different consultants on as we go along these podcasts, trying to find out exactly, a little bit of past and also what the future holds. Because we got, there's lots of things in there going on.
Oh, yeah.
I think all the public need to know.
Yeah.
Know about what we do as a job. Everybody thinks our job's quite easy sometimes.
Anything but
the result makes it.
Yeah.
I show you how easy the job with you.
See? That's what I've got to put up with every day. So, thanks, Andy. I know you're a busy chap, but you'll be back on again. I think you're back on something else at about half an hour, aren't you, or something?
Yeah. We've got the live draw to find out the rest of the anglers for the UFC, the Ultimate Fishing Competition. So,
I have tickets.
You've got tickets? Come on, Zolt, get in. You can have Des as your bank runner.
Imagine that as a live.
Imagine if you got free.
You imagine that? I don't know what I think. I'd kill him.
Imagine him trying to mug Des. That'd be amazing.
Oh my God! Trying to mug with a method feeder, floating feeder. I would love him to get through, and I would try and help him as much as I could.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
It'd be brilliant. That would definitely be a coaching the uncoachable.
But that would shout for a disaster.
That would be the end of coaching the uncoachable. I'll guarantee it. But I would love him to get. That's what's so good about that comp is anyone can't.
That's it.
Anyone
Absolutely.
Can get through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Harvo get through? John Harvey.
John Harvey.
Yeah.
You've got to fancy John on that, haven't you? Really.
Especially that game as well, mugging. But there's a good side and a bad side for mugging, isn't there? I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, like this side, side that we were stood on, because you've got the wooded area opposite, so you've got the big shadow.
You can see, can't you?
The guy who won it had the he was
Jason, wasn't it? Yeah, he did really well.
Local guy won it, didn't he? And it was close, though. It was a good match. That was a damn good match in the end. That
you never feel out of it somewhere like that.
No.
He does. You know what I mean? The size of the fish, a couple of hours on them, that's it. So
crafty there as well, aren't they? Trying to mug them. They're real crafty.
How good's guy and his staff, his wife, and it's
lovely bloke. Absolutely.
Zoe nearly got in again, isn't it?
Yeah, she was one out the other day.
Yeah, she was. Next peg. Yeah. Flipping heck.
Not again. Not again.
We've done like instant wins as well this time.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think there's one instant there. So get on it, get some tickets.
Too right. Get out there and do it. Well, again, thank you very much, Andy. Thanks for watching.
No problem.
Don't forget to put your comments below on two things. One, what you'll see in a minute. Well, whenever Zolt decides to put it on, I don't know what he's going to be doing with that. And if you've got any things like that, put them on, and then the comment below what you think this podcast is called. Only nice comments, no nasty ones, because I'll have to delete them all otherwise. So, thanks very much. Thanks from me, Andy, and Zolt. Have a lovely evening, and see you on the next podcast.
See you later.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon.